They keep coming. 2 million illegal immigrants in California. The federal government won't stop them at the border, yet requires us to pay billions to take care of them.
Prop 187. I voted yes, and I told all my friends, vote yes on that fucking law. I'm not kidding either. I hope to God that law, I know it passed, but I hope to God that the judge says, yeah, let it go. I hope, you don't even know how bad I hope. I'm going to buy a house in Fresno, California. I'm going to build a 200-foot tower. I'm going to get a pair of binoculars and a lazy boy chair. And in 2 years, I'm going to laugh my fucking ass off watching white people out on the fields. Fuck, this job sucks, man!
Well, ma'am, see, 99% of our produce comes to market through Latino hands. Without them, we have no fruits or vegetables in our grocery stores. Not mine. I get mine at Whole Foods. You are adorable. Okay, listen, dummy. They might have hippies out front at the Whole Foods, but everybody doing the real work are the Mexicans out back, okay? But you're right, ma'am. All the Mexicans at Whole Foods are 100% organic, and that's what matters. So,
how you doing today? So, Mac and Jamie here, and we're talking about California Prop 187, which was a ballot that was passed 25 years ago, and was initially to prevent undocumented immigrants from receiving public aid, just like health care and even public education, like going to just sending children to school. And it was initially a proposition to a so-called save the state. It was also called the Save Our State Initiative. That's what it's called, in 1994, and obviously that didn't pass. But it was just initiated, and it also caused the GOP to leave California completely. Now, of course, it doesn't mean that California is totally not conservative. It's just that that was the straw that broke the camel's back with the GOP. They were the vote for California was strictly Democratic, from then on.
Also, what the critical thing about it was mostly focused on Mexicans.
Yes.
And they claim it wasn't racial motivated, but any video about it, anything they talk about it, it was mostly focused on Mexicans. And they act like they were taking over California by the thousands. And California couldn't afford this, and that's totally nonsense. I think the most problems in the 90s was the stupid drug laws. This creating more problems than good.
Right.
It doesn't mean you create something in the law, it doesn't make things better. I think it makes things worse in most cases. And but the problem was there was one case of a young girl parents were so afraid to take their kid to the hospital, she actually died. I forgot the case, but it was something really minor became big. It was just because it was mostly a fear mongering towards because at the time I was dating a Salvadoran girl, and the hatred towards people kind of brown skin, hate this, was really high up there. And I had to buy her a taser, to protect herself, from these fools. Because what happens is you keep bringing up these things up, it'd be some idiot will come out of the woodwork, will do something stupid.
Yeah, that's right.
But Pete Wilson, former governor, tried to that was his campaign, and it did pass, but it didn't the Bay Area counties, it didn't pass in Bay Area County, it passed everywhere else. There's some areas I kind of surprised it passed. The majority were Spanish population, it did pass, but it made the Latinos realize, oh shit, we gotta wake up. And there was an interesting video that is on YouTube. It talks about the 25th anniversary of how these Latinos were not involved, government got involved in government and law. You ever seen that video? Or it's a good 5-10 minute video. It talks about that.
Well, it was
the 25th anniversary of Prop 87.
Mm-hmm.
It had a bunch of Latinos talk about how to influence them become more involved in the laws. in government.
Right.
It was a wake-up call for them. And I don't mind. I just don't like hearing things like, like from bringing a certain people's race or religions and stuff like that. This is pretty much was a witch hunt, more like, and scare tactics. Because white people get scared for the dumbest crap. I hate to tell you that. As a white person, I know how they think.
Yeah, I mean, like that whole video, like on that whole video, stating that they're coming, like that they're invading and stuff.
Waiting.
It was just like it was just over dramatized, and it was just inaccurate how like how they depicted it, and it made like people fearful, like oh, like these immigrants are coming in, they're like running across the border, nobody's like stopping them, like they're gonna like take over and stuff. But that's just like
Fear-mongering.
that's just fear mongering, exactly. Like it was just trying to use people's fears against them. It's mostly like like white conservatives or just anybody that was pretty much not an immigrant, like that was they were trying to appeal to get them emotionally invested in this, like thinking that like all the jobs are going to taken away by immigrants that are undocumented, all the like all the bad people that come from Mexico are be coming over the border,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just not like a good way to yeah, you can probably slow down, yeah, like illegal immigration, but also like you have to also ask yourself, what was the problem in the first place? Why is there so many illegal immigrants? It's more of like we need to have it easier for immigrants to come over to America if they want to come over and work, and we're making it very, very difficult for any immigrant like to come over. But mostly, it's Mexican immigrants from Mexico. But for Canadians, it's really easy for them to get across the border, like to get into citizenship, because, well, just like it's just like racial bias. That's what I believe it is.
Well, the funny thing, I mean to rep you, but the funny thing is now there are a lot of them are fear of Bush. I mean, I'm sorry, but Trump is now they're going to Canada, legal immigrate there, because the fear and races going on around this country right now. Hear about that?
What do you mean?
They're going to Canada. They go to the most easiest place, and they clean us all.
Yeah.
It's also one movie you should check out is The Day by the Mexican. It's one of those fake documentaries that kind of explains the whole thing. How we do need immigrants coming here to certain jobs that firstly most Americans won't do.
Right.
When it comes to.
Right. I mean, like without anybody working in the fields or anything, who would do it? Like you're gonna have like conservative white people go back to, I mean, like not just small farming, I mean industrialized farming. You think like the average American would want to do that, like for very low pay,
No
because
benefits,
they
anything.
need like low in order to like not bankrupt the farming community and the farming industry. They need to have low-paying workers. Unfortunately, that's the deal here, because we can't obviously have them a slave, because that's wrong, and we need to have something for them. But you think that the average American would want to do those kind of jobs? Probably not. Like, of course, there's Americans that are still they're still farmers, crops like corn and potatoes and root vegetables and stuff. But for some fruits and vegetables that need like a warmer climate, you think like the average American would want to do that?
Not really.
No,
I wouldn't.
No, I mean, I'm Mexican American. I don't want to do that. You know, like I certainly don't want to do that if I don't have to. You know, like I mean, I would if I had no other choice. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of these undocumented immigrants like are trying to like get just whatever work they can get, which is farming. Um, maybe in the maybe like in the public service sector too. Like if they're their other jobs like janitors and other things that like function make society function.
Hmm.
You know, jobs that not everybody wants to do. I mean, like they, um, you know, they first to come to this country, they have to take what they can get, and just cutting off public services for them, like in order for them to keep working, is just wrong. You know, like everybody should be able to go to the hospital to receive treatment or to emergency aid if they want to receive treatment. Children should be allowed to go to school whether their parents are illegal immigrants or not. Like, what do you want? Like the children to go to back to Mexico to uh, to their education system? Yeah, they have a good education system, but maybe where they lived wasn't a good place for them to be at. You know, there's a lot of violence and gangs and cartels and and jefes. You know, there's a lot of guys that go around just like are like the sheriff of Nottingham, stealing money from people, stealing cars from people, like robbing, like and murdering people just because they could. And unfortunately, that's where they're running away from, and that's why they're trying to get into this country so bad. But we made it so almost like not like possible for immigrants to come in unless they have. I read on a website that it costs like over, I would say over $800, $900 to get in to apply for citizenship in total, and plus they have to take a test, which
Yeah.
if they know Spanish like is their first language, like they're not gonna know like what English is in the first place. English is very very hard for like non-Americans, you know, non English speaking countries.
Well, also the problem with that is like people don't realize America, actually the right term is United States. America doesn't have a official language.
Exactly. So why are we pushing that on people that come from other countries? I mean, this country was founded on immigrants that came from other countries, like not just the like pilgrims like that came on the boat like just to escape from English or whatever. You know, we have to not be so close-minded.
Well, also this could be a little change the subject a little bit, but I was watching this video years ago about American these Mexicans are born in America and their parents are born in Mexico, but they live in Mexico. They cross the border to go to schools, and the people are upset, saying that it's not fair for them to come here and don't have to pay taxes and go to school. I said I would rather have my money going helping somebody out than ridiculous reason our government spends money on it. So I don't mind them coming here or crossing the border, come to our schools. I wear our money go to that, education. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
To help grow people, make people better.
right. Yeah, at least they're trying to go to schools. They're not trying to be
Yeah.
on the street and robbing people like or pickpocketing or like doing like scam artists things like the that I see in the streets even in San Francisco. You know, like Americans do that too. So like, why are you trying to like put people in? You know?
But we need a lot of work out. You know what I mean? We should not be focused on somebody's race or religion and create laws that put fear, mongering. You know what I mean? Also, I'm glad that later on, it was not Constitution. It was defeated. So, and I hope and then of course, Trump, whatever Obama did, Trump is going to make us go 15 years back because you never have somebody who's running for president who uses somebody's race, religion to scare people.
Yeah.
And he wanted to tag Muslims like the Jews, the Nazis did the Jews, put a little thing on them, let them know who they are, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not right.
And I hope that things will get better. It's kind of every time this country goes 5 feet forward, something happens. We go 15 feet back to the starting, but hopefully, but the good thing about the whole thing, by the end of this video, but the good thing is it let the Latinos know, oh shit, time to wake up. We got to stand up. You do have power. You can be amazed. You have power. There's an interesting meme. It has a picture on a stick over a cliff, and everybody's standing on the board. And if the eldest move away from the board, he falls off the cliff. You know what I mean? This is how much you have power. People don't realize it. So anything else to say?
I'll just advise people to say don't be afraid of immigrants taking your job. Just make it easier for them to become a citizen.
I think they're using excuses. I think they're using excuses like their life sucks. They're looking for something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In most cases.
I just think it's just bored, sheltered people that unfortunately think of these things, and that's exactly how this concept came up with. Was some politicians eating at an El Torito and coming up with this stupid idea, and so they should try to think more critically and think about other people's feelings rather than their own personal gain. Like the whole economics behind it. Yeah, maybe some are taking advantage of the system, but regular Americans do that too. They do. They take advantage. Yeah, and I mean, some people literally have kids just to be able to get on welfare.
If you're very concerned about your job, look about the corporations setting jobs overseas, because they want to go back in the time where there was no child labor. Starbucks just now they have these fields in South America had child labor making $5 a month.
Yeah, really, really low.
And then they all apologize. Oh, we know about this. They knew.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing that for so long, and we try to normalize it, and it's not right.
If you're really concerned about our jobs, tell them, bring our jobs back to America. Truly have made in USA, because people are willing to work.
Yeah.
And then you just want the corporation to go back in time once again, child labor, no benefits, and they want to that's how it is.
Yeah, you want to go back and treat people like Dole did back in the early 80s, late 70s. We can't have that. We simply cannot have that.
Okay. So that's pretty much it for the video. Please like, subscribe, and
let us know what you think about our opinions, and if we missed something, please let us know. And if you have a suggestion what we should talk about next, leave a comment below, and we'll get back to you.
All right, thank you.
Merry
Christmas.
Happy New Year.